Okay, so this is how my coolant system works. This is an aftermarket header tank, sits at the highest point in the system. Motor, 2.5 litre turbo, but pretty much the same as what you've got. Down here is the reverse coolant manifold. The engine's out at the moment because I've got to change the gearbox up. But what it does is it goes into here, which goes back to a BMW thermostat that sits there. Then you can see the pipe that goes across there, goes towards the front of the vehicle. So if we go to the front, bear with me a sec, as I get past all the shit. Okay, so when it comes to the front of the car, comes up under the back. There's a pipe here, comes in through the inner wing. This is my return line, so this goes through the old fuel line. This is the bleed point for the front, it comes down into the rad. There's a top fitting for the rad. I can't show you the side because it's all full of shit bits down there somewhere. But basically it comes back to the motor. Bear with me as I go back to the back of the car. Okay, so here, where are we? It's covered over, no it's there. So that is the line that normally fits, comes from the front of the car, from the bottom of the rad, normally fits to the bottom of the engine here. And basically these lines here, so if you just bear with me, so that's the header tank. It comes off the header tank, it comes off the BMW thermostat, which is a bit clearer there. So looking at the left hand side of that, the T-piece that goes out the back here that way, that's the bit that goes to the front of the car. This bit is a bleed or a return, so it comes down here, comes down this pipe here and into the engine. Now this is totally self-bleeding. All I have to do is fill it up and literally run the engine, and then once it's, just let it settle and then top it up until it's full. Now this is a conversion that a friend of mine did on his car. There's no thermostat here, so the thermostat from the engine is completely removed. The thermostat is controlled at the top of the motor, and because the coolant is returned straight from the bottom of the motor to the top of the motor, it warms up really quickly. And because I've got bleed lines, so the bleed lines are, where are we? Again, sorry, because it's all in pieces. Right, the bleed lines here. That's one of the bleed. That's the bleed line that comes there. It T-pieces into the top. Here, there's a sort of a section here. I've got a T-piece. Here, there's a bleed off this bit, so this is where the engine bleeds from. So it comes out of the reverse coolant manifold and it bleeds through into here. And then, I don't know if you can see down there, move my finger out of the way. That is the fuel line, the old fuel line from the car. And that is the bleed line from the rad that comes up and tees into the piece here. Sorry for this. Ah, there you go, that's a clearer thing. So that tees into there, and then it literally all just feeds back into this header tank. That's the turbo feed, that comes off the turbo, so that's the water from the water cooling from the turbo, and that's from the radiator. And this is totally self-bleeding. Recommend you do something similar, to be honest. So yeah, there you go. Thought I'd show you what I've got, so it gives you a bit of perspective. Alright, cheers.